Sean Diddy Combs, already on trial for sex trafficking.
Megastar Sean Diddy Combs.
Savage! I'm a savage! Oh!
When royalty crashes to earth, every breath becomes headline news. In 2025, one of hip-hop's most powerful kings was dragged into the arena, not a stage, not an award show, but a courtroom. And what followed was more explosive than anyone could imagine. It was a public reckoning, a fall from grace, and maybe the setup for the boldest comeback in music history. This is the rise, the fall, and the daring gambit of Sean Diddy Combs in the most electrifying legal saga of the year. Before the shockwaves of 2025, Sean Diddy Combs wasn't just in the culture, he was the culture, the architect of Bad Boy Records, the man who gave the world "I'll Be Missing You." Grammy winner, fashion mogul, vodka king, TV producer, a billionaire in swagger, if not in bank balance. But by late 2023, the empire had cracks, hairline fractures, and then the walls caved in. It started with Cassie Ventura's high-profile civil suit, one lawsuit that snowballed into an avalanche over 100 criminal and civil cases, a blizzard of accusations, sex abuse, rape, trafficking, the kind of allegations that can erase a legacy overnight. And then came the moment that sealed his fate. September 16, 2024, the indictment. Sean Combs was no longer the mogul calling the shots. He was a defendant in shackles. Months passed in a cell as judge after judge slammed the door on his bail requests. May 5, 2025. Jury selection begins. Cameras swarm. The trial is a slow-burn thriller. 6 weeks of witness testimony, bombshell exhibits, and gut-punch cross-examinations. And then July 2nd, Manhattan. The summer heat is brutal, but the atmosphere inside the federal courtroom even hotter. Every seat filled. Media lenses glint like sniper scopes. Live feeds are running on every major network. Social media is exploding in real time. The jury foreman stands, each word hitting like a thunderclap. Not guilty, not guilty, guilty, guilty. Sean Diddy Combs, acquitted on the heaviest federal counts of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, but found guilty on 2 counts of violating the Mann Act, transporting individuals across state lines for prostitution. Each conviction, a maximum 10 years. Combined, 20 years on the table. The mogul, once untouchable, now convicted. The media frenzy? Unstoppable. Diddy's legal team scrambled. They offered $1 million bail, surrendered his passport, proposed home confinement. But Judge Aaron Subramanian wasn't swayed. He cited a years-long pattern of violence, including a 2016 video showing Diddy attacking Cassie Ventura. Bail denied. Here's the curveball. Even behind bars, Combs is strategizing as if planning a comeback tour. His lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, is expected to formally ask the court to let Diddy serve part of his sentence at his $48.5 million private island Miami mansion, not in prison, citing urgent therapy needs for anger and substance abuse that the detention center cannot meet. He's proposing to transform into an anti-domestic violence advocate, offering redemption, healing, and a second chance. That mansion? The same one where prosecutors allege drug-fueled freak-offs took place, and where firearms, illicit drugs, and explicit paraphernalia were discovered during a raid. It's not just unusual, it's a throne disguised as a jail cell. Judge Subramanian was unmoved, citing Diddy's years-long pattern of violence, specifically referencing a 2016 video where Combs attacked Cassie Ventura and called the bail request nothing more than posturing. Since then, multiple judges have denied release, citing not just danger, but risk of witness interference. Diddy remains locked inside Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center. Each day ticks toward October 3rd, sentencing day. Prosecutors want 4 to 5 years. His team argues for just 2. But the judge holds all the cards. Then the rumor detonates. Could Diddy be seeking a presidential pardon from Donald Trump? With less than 2 months before his sentencing, one of Sean Diddy Combs' attorneys claimed that efforts have been made to secure a pardon from President Donald Trump. Attorney Nicole Westmoreland claimed his team had reached out, keeping hope alive. But lead attorney Mark Agnifilo contradicted those reports, stating he personally never contacted Trump or authorized any outreach, calling the pardon notion more idle wish than action. Turns out Diddy's legal team did not officially request a pardon. Instead, intermediaries, friends, and allies reportedly floated possibilities, some even offering payment as leverage. Meanwhile, a White House official told CNN they will not comment on the existence or non-existence of any clemency request. Trump publicly distanced himself, calling Diddy sort of half-innocent, and indicating a pardon is highly unlikely. Still, the possibility alone ignited global speculation. Could politics be his lifeline? Combs isn't just defending, he's attacking. While prosecutors paint him as a predator, Diddy launches a counteroffensive. In February, he filed a $50 million defamation lawsuit against Courtney Burgess, Ariel Mitchell, and News Nation for circulating claims of illicit sex videos involving minors. Fast forward to August, he doubled it. He amended it to $100 million, accusing them of fabricating claims for shock value and social media clicks, broadcasting lies, and profiting off defamation. They claim the allegations were malicious, reckless fiction used to damage his reputation and derail his trial. Now he's fighting back with legal force. He's not backing down. He's turning the courtroom into his second stage. If you thought this trial was about dried legal arguments, think again. Because when the witnesses took the stand, the air in that Manhattan courtroom turned electric and ice cold. Over 6 relentless weeks, 34 witnesses were sworn in. Each word they spoke built a tower of accusations brick by brick until it loomed over the defense like a shadow they couldn't shake. And then came the voice no one could ignore. Carrie Morgan, Cassie Ventura's former best friend, not an anonymous accuser, not a faceless name. She had lived inside Diddy's glittering, high-roller world and had seen the darkness behind the velvet ropes. With the jury hanging on every word, Morgan recalled 2 nights that would forever burn into her memory. The first, in a rented Hollywood Hills mansion. Laughter, champagne, music, until the mood turned. Morgan testified she saw Diddy strike Ventura in the face, no warning, no hesitation, just the sudden, shocking violence of a man who knew he was untouchable. The second, Jamaica, a luxury getaway turned into a nightmare. Morgan described Ventura being dragged by her hair down a long hallway as if she were nothing more than property to be hauled away. Her words made even seasoned court reporters glance up from their notepads. And then, the twist that made the gallery gasp. Morgan testified that Combs later offered her $30,000 in cash if she signed an NDA. The condition? Silence. Not just about the violence, but about the world she had seen behind his closed doors. Whether it was hush money or an act of damage control, the implication was clear. Some truths were never meant to leave those mansions. Witnesses described drug-fueled freak-offs, paranoia, control, abuse, and psychological trauma. The prosecution painted a portrait of a criminal enterprise. But here's where it collapsed. The jury rejected the racketeering and sex trafficking charges, suggesting they didn't believe the conspiracy was proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Instead, the Mann Act counts stuck. Diddy's lawyers now argue the law is outdated, racist, and unconstitutional. They claim he's the only person ever convicted under the Mann Act without coercion, commercial motive, or financial gain. They're pushing for acquittal or a new trial. After the verdict, the music industry froze. Sponsors, gone. Collaborations, dead. Foundations and partners, silent. But history shows entertainment world can be forgiving. Michael Vick, Chris Brown. Even R. Kelly had loyal fan pockets until the very end. And Diddy? He's got decades of hits, a loyal fan base, and a business empire with deep roots. With the lesser convictions, a comeback could still happen. Some speculate his sentence might land between 18 months to 4 years. In short, battered, maybe, but not broken yet. Every ticking second draws us closer to October 3rd, sentencing day. Will he be locked away or find a way back into daylight, into headlines, into redemption? Leaked legal filings, appeals, media spin, public sympathy, or fury. This isn't just about a sentence. It's about whether Diddy will return as a controlled narrative or collapse entirely. If Diddy Combs avoids long prison time, expect headlines. Madison Square Garden, comeback tours, storytelling documentaries, new music, new brand. But the flip side? A final fall. The music world loves a narrative comeback, but sometimes the higher you climb, the harder you can fall. So here we are. The world is holding its breath. October 3rd, 2025, the day that will either cement Sean Diddy Combs as a fallen king, or the day he begins the most shocking redemption arc in music history. Will the judge see a man ready to change, or a mogul too dangerous to walk free? One thing's for certain, this story isn't over. Not by a long shot. And when the gavel falls, you can bet the aftershocks will tear through the music industry, the media, and maybe even the political world. But now, it's your turn. Is Diddy plotting the ultimate comeback? Or are we witnessing the final act of an empire? Let's hear your take. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And remember, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next twist in this real-life drama. Because if you thought this was wild, trust me, the next chapter will blow your mind.